this whole coronavirus politically, Tribulation Trump has made it into a racial, political, cultural event. And as our first segment a moment ago, we demonstrated that what Trump has done is that he has denied it, or at least the Fox News people are denying that it is a real event. Now Trump is he's reversed himself, and now he's trying to, get a lot of, press by saying he's on the case. He's no longer denying it as a reality now, nor is he calling it a hoax. And by the way, Xi Jinping told Trump to stop calling it the Chinese virus. Somebody asked Trump, going back about 4 or 5 weeks ago, why do you call it the Chinese virus? And Trump got indignant and said, because it comes from China. The next day, he got a call from Xi Jinping. We don't know what they talked about, but I can tell you this, he ain't called it a Chinese virus since that phone call. Xi Jinping, that China boy, shut this orange-faced fool up, dared him. And he ain't gonna call it China virus no more. And all his constituents out there in the redneck land won't call it China virus either. Otherwise, China would drop a bomb on Trump and everybody out there in the Heartland. So that, just shows you Trump and what he's made out of. But I think the other thing is that what we need to know is that the cultural, if you will, the Fox News people think that this virus is not coming to redneck and red state. It's coming. It's like saying, for these fools to say, or to think, they don't say it, but to think, first of all, as we just heard the piece I just did, that they said, well, I don't know anybody out here where I live that got it, so therefore it doesn't exist. But listen to me, I want you to come up closer because I want you to hear this. Because when you see these people in red states, in Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, North Dakota, Alabama, Arkansas, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas. For them to think, now let's be very careful, for them to think that they're not going to die at the same per capita rate that people are dying in New York is the equivalent of saying that people in Texas don't catch colds, that people in Oklahoma don't get the flu, that people in Arkansas don't sneeze, or that people in Mississippi don't get headaches. It's ridiculous. It's coming. It's just a matter, for these fools in these red states, it takes a little bit longer for the coronavirus to travel in a rural area where people live 3 and 4 miles apart than it does for people in New York who don't live 3 inches apart. The virus can spread a whole lot faster and and more deadly. It's going to take longer in Wyoming, in Utah, in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana. It's going to take longer in Iowa, Nebraska, and Missouri, and Kansas. It's going to take a little longer because the people are spread out much wider in their geographical social distancing, but it's going to come. When you can show me somebody in Nebraska, or you can tell me in Nebraska that people in Nebraska or Kansas or Missouri or Iowa or Colorado don't get colds the way people do in New York, then maybe I'll believe you. That it ain't coming. But brother, it's coming. And y'all gonna die and die harder and stupider than people have died in New York and New Jersey. Having said that, this idiot down there in Georgia, they got this social distancing thing, so he's gonna open up Georgia for business on Friday, right? So the whole idea of this is that the Trump administration itself has said you gotta show 14 days of a downward chart of the coronavirus, less deaths, less hospitalization, all that kind of good stuff, right? And then after 14 days consistently going down, now you can open up. You can be open for business. That's first criteria number one, phase number one, opening up for business, right? Well, that ain't happening in Georgia. And then the other thing is that even when you open, you got to demonstrate social distances. You got to schedule your restaurants and your businesses so that people can be 6 feet apart from one another, right? So this idiot down there in Georgia, he says he's gonna open up for business in Georgia. But listen to what the fool said who he's gonna open. Listen to this fool.
Given the favorable data, enhanced testing, and approval of our healthcare professionals, we will allow gyms, fitness centers, bowling alleys, body art studios, barbers, cosmetologists, hair designers, nail care artists, estheticians, their respective schools, and massage therapists to reopen their doors this Friday, April the 24th. Unlike other businesses, these entities have been unable to manage inventory, deal with payroll, and take care of administrative items while we shelter in place. This measure allows them to undertake baseline operations that most other businesses in the state have maintained since I issued the shelter-in-place order. This measure will apply statewide and will be the operational standard in all jurisdictions. This means local action cannot be taken that is more or less restrictive.
We're going to open up nail salons, beauty parlors, barber shops, recreation places, gymnasiums, restaurants, all the places where people have, even massage parlors. The food governor said, we're going to open up massage parlors, nail salons, beauty salons, barber shops, restaurants. How are you going to keep social distancing in a beauty salon or nail salon or massage parlor? That's what he said. So I've been raising the question for some time. It's not my first time raising this issue. Is God punishing the Japheth man? Is this the biblical, is the absolute stupidity that you see in Japheth now, and not all Japheth people, obviously, but, these Japheth Trump supporters, this has got to be of God. There is no way that a human species could be this crackpot. Listen, if people have enough sense, to make a fire and keep themselves warm, put a roof over their heads, etc., and can pass a test to get a driver's license, you figure they automatically then qualify as a certain level of intellect, right? They can get a driver's license, right? Or they know how to order a Big Mac from a Whopper. They know the difference between Burger King and McDonald's. So they must have a reasonable level of intelligence. But when you look at these rednecks, and Japheth and redneck, these Trump supporters, they act worse than caveman, moronic intellect. You can say what you want, but the fact that the governor, imagine living in the state of Georgia, the governor said we're going to open it up so nail salons, beauty parlors, massage parlors, barber shops, restaurants, exercise gyms can all start going back. You got to figure what the hell is wrong with him. This can't be natural, because some people who have a natural level of intellect would not even broach such a subject. This must be the punishment of God upon these white people. And I don't say that racially. Come on, give me that. Come on now. You know doggone well I ain't gonna follow Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Obama, join the LGBT crowd or the NAACP. You know that. You know I don't go down that road. You know that. I'm just telling you white folk how crazy as hell you are. I ain't against you because you're white or somehow or another. I'm black and I'm proud and all that. I'm running around with the African American now. You know that ain't the case. You know that ain't the case about me. You know it ain't. What the hell I look like following Al Sharpton or getting in a line with the LGBT crowd? You done lost your mind. This is worse than denying the coronavirus if you think I'm that crazy. But after having said that, God's punishing you white people. God is whipping y'all's ass. No, he is. There you go again. It's in the Bible. You don't like the context? Turn me off. But it's in the Bible. So, no, You got to realize that there ain't no way people with a reasonable IQ above 15 would do what you see these rednecks doing in support of Trump and following him, and their denial of reality. It ain't over there. It has got to be the wrath of God. So, which brings me to the next subject matter. You know, if God is whipping their butts now, it might be time to make a move. I ain't gonna tell you what the move is, you know. But if these people are blinded to truth and reality, they are, you know, he may let them still drive cars, you know. He may let them still go to Burger King or to Target or to Walmart, you know. You know, people in the Northeast love the theater. They love museums. And they love to go to the theater, especially in New York and a lot of other things. And this has been a cultural divide for quite some time. These boys love guns. You know, some people love to go to theaters. Other people love to buy guns. They spend their money on guns. Anyway, so you got to figure out that this is the wrath of God. This is a bit of a news blog we do looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.